Yo, I found that isolation allows you to meet yourself at a deeper level, you know, because when you're like away from the people you've been used to or the environment you've been used to, it's like you're just dealing with yourself. You don't have people. You're not really having that many people to hang out with, if any. Um, People not projecting onto you. That I found that there's an interesting thing that happens when you are around people, your whole life or whatever, or you get used to a certain community around people, and then you like move away, whether physically or just you just don't talk no more, whatever it may be. Um, because there comes a point in your isolation to where you genuinely change. You genuinely change because there's not, like I said, that outside influence from people who view you a certain way or whatever. Um, you change a lot. Maybe you don't get invited to stuff anymore. Maybe stuff you should just go to just because you hang out with this person, or it's just something you always did, something you and your friend group or family always did. But now it's like in isolation, you can kind of get an outside view of you, of that version of you with all of them, when you were around all of them. And now that you're outside of it, it's like, man, like, do I even like doing that? Do I even want to talk to this person? You know what I mean? Do I even believe what they were saying? And chances are, more often than not, the answer's gonna be no. You realize a lot of stuff. You realize a lot of stuff about yourself. And oh yeah, the interesting thing I was trying to get to is that you get to a point in isolation to where you yourself are a different person, but people still have that memory, that version of you back then, and they don't see the new you. You know, it's very interesting. You know, very interesting. Hmm. And a lot of those people, you probably don't even want to talk to you no more. They just don't resonate. Not necessarily for a bad reason. It's just don't resonate for whatever reason. Because you are a different person, you don't engage in these behaviors anymore. And you realize that, oh, when I was with this person, I would only hang out with them because of this or that or whatever, or whatever. Um, and not just that. Also, it might just be like you may hang out with you may still consider people cool as friends and all that, but certain things just change. Maybe next time you come around them, you realize it's like, man, yeah, I don't exist in this way anymore. I don't have these same habits. I don't speak the same way. I don't think the same way. Well, I don't think the same way, therefore I don't speak the same way. I don't like gossiping. I don't like talking about people, making fun of people, whatever. Like, I got better things to do than that. For me, my baseline in conversation is like building, is working on projects or self-betterment, sharing advice about how I healed through things, how I overcame things, different perspectives that help me, and I could probably help them. You know what I mean? It's like all that gossiping and just being bitter all the time. It's like shit is like draining, literally draining. And I don't want to be around it. Therefore, I will remove myself. I won't even be around if that's the case. If I realize, you know, and yeah, isolation really allows you to, if you choose to, you know, really allows you to explore your own mind, you know, explore the mystery that is you, you know, that you probably couldn't in the same capacity as when you were around all these people all the time, you know, or all these other distractions or whatever. In isolation, you may even find that you don't want to be around people as much, honestly. You may not want to be around most people. You may find certain people, you know. And honestly, I feel like isolation kind of accelerates your knowledge of self as well. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I don't know what that is. It's like whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, it's probably a dog, not mine. um, but yeah, if you've never like had a significant amount of time by yourself to where you're not around people all the time, and maybe you feel like you always have had people around you, maybe even want people around you all the time, I highly recommend trying like a bit of isolation, in a sense that, I mean, it could like be physically where you go somewhere, whatever. But no, I'm also talking about like maybe not having people around you all the time and seeing what happens when you're by yourself. Can you be by yourself? Can you be by yourself without getting anxious, without wanting to be with people? You know, without reaching for the phone to contact somebody to come over, like whatever it may be. I'm just saying, which by the way, it's no judgment. It is no judgment at all. I'm just saying, if you feel like you can't be alone, like why is that? You know? Ask yourself that question. I don't have the answers. And it's no judgment. You know, I'm just saying there's a lot to learn from yourself. Literally from yourself. And from knowing yourself more and more. But a lot of times being around people and things, certain environments can keep you from, or makes it harder to really sit with yourself and study yourself and learn yourself and know yourself. You know, there's a lot of trends, things that are trendy. There's a lot of peer pressure. There may be things that people shove in your face, like, here, do this, try this, or whatever. Or go here. You know? I think it's very fruitful to sit with yourself and see who you are by yourself. And I just want to clarify, I don't think you should. Basically, I'm just saying, I feel like there's a lot to learn from the experience of isolation. I don't think people should be in isolation forever. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. There's a balance to everything. That's all I'm saying. There's a balance. And also I definitely would advocate for the opposite as well. If you are by yourself all the time and like truly, truly, truly by yourself or whatever, and you never want to talk to nobody, never want to be around nobody, I would ask yourself, why not? You know? Does that truly resonate with you? Do you really not want to be around anybody, like ever again? You know, is it because something that happened or whatever? You know? Again, no judgment. These are just rhetorical questions. Well, rhetorical for me, reflective for you, I guess. I guess they still could be rhetorical. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. You know, sometimes you need isolation to realize certain things about yourself. Perhaps you can only know yourself so much when you're around people. Perhaps there's a limit to how much you can know yourself and dive deeper into yourself when you're constantly interacting with people, when you're around people all the time, or whatever. You know. So yeah, like I said, it's all a balance. I just encourage people to experience it though, like in a healthy way, because there's definitely isolation. If you're not, like if you're not well, I don't recommend isolation. If you're not well, like mentally, you know what I mean. Like I actually recommend getting the help that you need and being able to talk to people, finding those you feel comfortable with, you know. Obviously, some things I don't know. Maybe some things don't seem obvious, but that's why I want to give you disclaimers, you know. But yeah, yeah, man. So just know, isolation often allows you to get to know yourself at a deeper level, like deeper than you probably even thought, you know. So anyway, that's all for now. Peace.